Welcome back, guys. This is FF Minato here, doing another game update video just to kind of give you a few more tips and tricks while doing a few dailies. Um, so, for those of you wondering, growth plan, obviously super awesome. I advise not going for any of these packs. I personally don't believe that any of them are worth it, but once again, that's my belief. So, if you feel like getting them, go for it. Growth fund. I went for the 40,000 one because you get 80,000 back, so that's awesome, 200%. And you get a bunch of items inside of it. Whatever highest pack you can get, I would definitely suggest going for it if you have any amount of gold. And always save for the growth funds because they are going to give you so much back that you can get another free ninja or this and that. Invest and explore. You get a bit of gold back from this. Usually between like 1,000 to 5,000 after all of it. Getting 5,000 more would be a huge amount, but I doubt that it would ever happen. But it says you can get 200% max revenue, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody get 10,000 back from that. So, the best way to do these growth plans is start with this one, do all 5 of them in one day, and go to your money tree, and you'll get 5 waterings. Then the next day, growth plan, buy the 40,000 or whatever one you can, and if you get at least the 10,000 pack, you can water 5 more times and get a free level 1 tree, which will give you 3,000 gold rebate, which I have already done, so that was awesome for me. Also, growth plan with 10 tails arrive is very, very good because if you do that 2-day thing, you'll get all these coupons the first day and then all of them again the second day. Not to mention you'll get all of these, depending on if you can get the 40,000 or not. If you can't, you can usually get up to this 18,000 one, or anywhere in between, depending on how much gold extra you have to use on that. So that's definitely worth doing. Weapon guide. Weapon guide is awesome. Make sure you claim these free daily, every day, 3 times a day. There's no real need to buy any of these packs because usually within one weapon guide thing, it lasts for usually 7 to like 10 days, so you can get at least 2 to 3 pieces. As for the items and stuff, if you guys are wondering how to make your characters the strongest, it's not always about getting 6 of one piece for the 6-piece effect set. Going for the 2-piece sets, the void entry rate is really useful, even if it's only 4%, 5%, that's 7%, 8%, 9%, stuff like that is still really useful. Like on my characters right now, my main character doesn't really have anything on him, but like with Madara, he's got 2 pieces of the angel and then 4 of the level 100. I need to make 2 level 110s, that way I can swap it out so I can have some more void injury. Naruto's got 2 of the 110, 2 of the 80, and then these 2 of the 110, which I'm gonna S-Forge, then swap these over to Madara, and then give him 100 pieces. That way he's got 2 of the 100, 2 of the 110, and 2 of the 80. He's got 2 of the 105, 2 of the 80, and 2 of the 100. And then my Vanguard has 2 of the 75, 95, and 85. And the void injury rate, like I said, it's pretty ridiculous. 64% on him, 45 on Toneri, 37 on Naruto, 53 on Madara, and then just 13 on my main, just because he doesn't really have any piece sets. A few more pretty good tips that I forgot to mention in my other video that are very useful are about jades. So, a lot of you would like to know how to work your jade. So a level 1 jade is going to give you like this, like 1.5% for the base stats ones. Level 2 jade gives you 3%. So they're exactly equivalent whether you upgrade them or not. So get all of your characters at least level 1 jades at first, and that will keep them all at 1.5%. Then upgrade them to 2, and after that, whenever they start going up from 1, you're going to want to upgrade them slowly. Like, just until you get enough to upgrade each one. You don't want to have one level 5 crit jade, because one level 5 crit jade is going to take 2 level 1s and 2 level 2s and so on and so forth, and it's going to take a lot more jades that it's worth, because if you have one level 5 crit jade, that's 5%. Okay, cool. But if you have 6 level 1 crit jades, you have 6%. And 6 level 1 crit jades does not make it 5. It makes, I want to say, 1 level 3. So just make sure that you keep them and upgrade them one at a time, as opposed to upgrading one huge one, because it's not as important. The next big jump is at level 8. So from 7 to 8 is a 4.5% jump. All the other jumps have been 3%. So if you can get a level 8 and you already have all level 7s and stuff, go ahead and make that jump, because that jump is, like I said, 3 instead of 3%, it is 4.5%. After level 8, I think the next big one is 10. Let me check real quick. Yes, the next big one is 10, because that gives you a 6% jump. So that one is also definitely worth it, and a goal that you should be reaching towards. Other than that, let's go over what you need for Full Fury. So Full Fury requires 2 level 9 jades and 4 level 8 jades. So that's going to give you 100% Fury for your first set that you'll need. Like I was saying before, every time this group buy comes up, the very first one that comes up is going to have a Fury Jade in it, and you only need to have 1 gold to join now for it, and that'll be the first day. So you click that, and then whenever the time comes, which would be, I think, around 2200 on server time, 2200, you can purchase it, and it doesn't even require gold, I found out. It actually requires, you can use coupons. So as long as you have some gold in your thing, whether it be that 90 that you started out with, or if you use a little bit of it, and as long as you keep 1 gold, you'll be able to keep getting those Fury Jades over and over again, and that'll easily get you full Fury. Let's see. What else is there? Little update. I did buy Kushina. It took 3,000 to refresh to get her to 2,200, and then I bought her. So I spent 2,500 gold, or 25,000 gold on her. So that was worth it to me, because, as I said, the growth plan's going to give me back 80,000. So that drops me down to 55,000 after the growth plan. So I will plan on using her and leveling her up, but I want to wait and see what ninjas in the next event and what's going on, and how far away Orochimaru is, because I don't want to level her up if Orochimaru is going to be right around the corner. I mainly got her for the bond, but if Orochimaru is not coming out for a few months, like 2 or 3 months, then I definitely plan on using her. And a lot of people say, oh, Orochimaru is way better than Kushina and this and that. But the thing is that they're both good at different things. Orochimaru, yes, he can heal himself permanently and get permanent fury over and over again and be really strong there. But Kushina is also good for ending battles quickly because with her ability, she can make your opponent's buffs just all go away, which gives you a huge advantage. You see right here, first of all, 75% chance to forbid enemy support to recover fury, which is awesome if they are able to be hit by that. Then the second one is dispelling all enemy buffs. The reason that's just huge is because, I mean, your enemies can get 30% attack or 30% speed or whatever, or 30% extra this and that, and they can get huge buffs. And to be able to wipe that off of them while your team is fully buffed up is pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. And Orochimaru has his little perks and he's good in his own way, but she has what she needs for her. So overall, I don't regret buying her or getting her. I do believe that she is a very strong ninja. Let me see what else is there. As for the tavern, if you are to get any ninjas other than the ones I suggested in my last video, I'm going to go ahead and point them all out, which ones are good to use and which ones are not, depending on however you want to play. Shino is a great starting one for level 30 if you want somebody to be able to control your enemy's vanguard, because that's a nice stun. He has good damage, and you can still use him in beasts up until 70 when you get Kabuto, so you can use him and Haku back there. So you can go for Rock Lee, which, as I said before, gives you that damage rate for all your assaulters and recovers 50% damage. Asuma, 190% with 35% crit, which is nice, especially if you have crit jades to help increase his crit hitting. Shikamaru, he's really nice with his 50% extra damage rate and hitting the vanguard pretty hard. A lot of people go for Sakura or Ino. Personally, I don't believe that they're necessary, and that Conan is the only healer you should go for, but if you feel the need to get them, then go ahead and get one to hold you over till then. From the level 50 tavern, you can go for Haku for PvE, because she will give you that fury for your assaulters and recover her fury fully each time. Kimimaru would be another very good assaulter that you could get with 210% growing rate and 20% attack rate increase. You can definitely go for Karin if you want somebody to help control your enemy's assaulters. And then another interesting way to go if you want for PvP, which is what I have done many times on many accounts, is getting Tamari, which also controls assaulter. Shizune, who controls support. And then having Shino. Having those three in the back row and your main doing whatever skill you want is pretty cool. I've done it multiple times and it does help you in PvP a lot because you're able to control their assaulter, their support, and their vanguard depending on if they're within your level range. And I found that very useful. If not, you can always go Tamari, Shizune, and Karin just to make sure that those assaulters really get pinned down. And this one will hit their supports. And your main can just control their vanguard if you wanted to. Just a cool, interesting strategy you could always try. As for the 70 tavern, I would never suggest Darui because he's just as good as the Naruto that you'll get in 7 days. So in 7 days you should hit about 70 anyway, so don't go for him. Hanzo, don't really prefer him either because he's just like a weaker version of Sasuke because he recovers 50 points of fury instead of 100. Yeah, he gives some hit rate and stuff, but that's not that great. Danzo. He could be your first AoE ninja if you really wanted, and he is great because he lowers their defense by 10% and it hits all enemies for 100%. So he's pretty awesome, especially him with Kakashi, who lowers everybody's speed. If you wanted something for PvP, and this does help in PvE a little bit as well, definitely go for our Danzo Kakashi combo, because that'll give you that defense lowering and speed lowering to everybody. Vanguards, Kisame, can't personally recommend him. I have used him before on one account where I just threw all of my potency on him, and I took first place once I hit 70 without any VIP, just because he does have that 35% block rate and 15% attack. But with me from Rebellers, I actually got enough crit jades to get him to like 72% at 70, so with his crit talent, I think it was at 90 or close to 90, so it made him super duper strong. But unless you can get tons of crit and tons of block, I wouldn't suggest using him. Kakazu, he is your bread and butter. You will want to use him till probably about 100, 110. Increases his defense by 30% and has a defense talent to increase it even more, so he's super strong. Soigetsu, wouldn't suggest going for him at all. Yamato, not really. If you want to keep up with, like I said, the PvP thing back here where you had like Tamari, Sushine, and Karin stuff, then you can definitely go for these two, Deidara and Sasori, because it will stun your enemy and decrease their fury. So those two are nice controllers if you prefer some control. A lot of people always ask, which one should I go for first, the assaulter or the supporter? Well, it's really based on what you're having trouble with in PvP or PvE. If your enemy has super strong assaulters that are just wrecking you really hard, go for Deidara. If your enemy has supports that are just destroying you, then go for Sasori. But the big thing is that if your opponent has Deidara to hit your assaulters and you have Deidara to hit your assaulters, it's going to take a really long time. So Sasori is a strong pick, but your Sasori has to be faster than theirs if they have one. Otherwise, he'll just stun yours. Sage Kabuto, always, always, always get him no matter what build you are doing. He recovers his fury by 100 each time and gives 25 to all of your allies. From the AD Tavern, the best ones here are Killer Bee, for sure, hitting the Vanguard for 275% and decreasing enemies' fury by 50. And that would be another nice combo as well, also, if you guys were looking into fury combos, is Deidara, Sasori, and Killer Bee. You can lower all 3 rows of their fury by 50 each time. And so that's always a cool combo to do if you're looking to just fury wipe them. Tsunade can stop your assaulters from being stunned, but so can your main with control. So I don't personally prefer her. Mei, if you want to keep your supporters from getting stunned, is a very useful one. She is faster than Sasori, so if you wanted to skip Sasori, get Deidara and go for Mei. That is always useful, because then you won't be able to get stunned and she recovers 100% fury each time. From the level 90 Tavern, if you wanted to replace Kakazu for some reason, if you just weren't feeling his defense and it wasn't helping you out, and or if you can just live long enough, you could always get Inoki, because he will give your assaulters 60% aid rate for 2 rounds, which, if it works, your assaulters only take 10% damage, so that's always super nice. But other than that, he is weaker, I will say, defense-wise, compared to Kakazu. So he's not going to last as long in PvE. So unless you have high aid rate, I wouldn't suggest switching out for him. I mean, not aid rate, avoid injury rate. But if you do, you can swap out for him, or if your assaulters are the ones that you want living and you use aid on your assaulter, on your main character and you just want your second assaulter to live longer, then he is a worthy prospect. Conan, always, always, always get it. Recovers Thunder Fury, gives you that HP rate, so that's good. Like I said in the last one, Toby, you can get him if you want a dot ninja before Mangetsu, and he can work for a few things, but he's not the strongest dot ninja. So level 100 tavern, a lot of people do go for Tobirama and swap out Deidara. So if you wanted to get him or skip Deidara altogether and just get Tobirama, you can get him. He's much faster, obviously, and has a big chance to control people. Hashirama is stronger than the first version of Sasuke. The second version is stronger than him, so if you plan on getting the second version of Sasuke, I would suggest not getting Hashirama, but if you aren't, then go for it. And fourth Hokage is just pretty useless. He is just like an upgraded Sasuke, with some avoid injury rate. So, yeah. But, interesting fact, he is the only ninja in the game other than Kiba to use ninjutsu, so he uses those shurikens. So, if you're looking for somebody to use a shuriken, here's your guy, I guess. 110, Zetsu, he's stronger than Hashirama, but weaker than second upgrade Sasuke. So if you're getting second upgrade Sasuke, don't get Zetsu. If you aren't, get Zetsu and go for Rasengan Naruto or Rikudo Naruto. That's what it was, yeah. Go for Rikudo Naruto and get this guy instead from the tavern. Either way, it's up to you. Ibizo, in my opinion, isn't all that useful. But Chio, if you wanted her to swap out your Sasori, Sasori, then you can get her. She's faster than him and has a bigger chance to control and still lowers their fury. So, you can definitely go for her. And that's as high as in the taverns that I have right now to show. So whenever I do reincarnate, I will be able to show you guys more. Other than that, I think that's all the new tips. Other than Jinchuuriki Awakening, so somebody had commented saying that, oh, okay, well, I think that using your silver for the first explore 10 times a day is totally worth it. And it costs only 5 to 7 million silver. Well, that's fine. If you're okay with having an awakening skill that's green, blue, or purple at the cost of 5 to 6 million a day, then that's totally cool. You can definitely do that. The reason why I suggested not spending your silver and just doing free explore is because the Geto statue, the second and third one, are the best. They will give you that top shard for the best skill, which is what I'm going for each of my ninjas, personally. But if you don't mind getting these purple, blue, and greens at 5 to 7 mil a day, then go for it. Because, let's say 5 million times a year. You're going to spend 1,825,000 million silver. That's 1 billion silver. And you got 0 top shards out of it. So, it's personal preference. If you don't think you're ever going to get the top shard ones and you're just going to keep purples or blues or greens on your ninjas, or you just want those to hold you over, then definitely 100% go for it. That is your choice. And like I said before, they also said, yeah, you get these daily. You get, to gather all your materials, and you can use those jades every single day. I agree, yes. But you can also keep the cost of silver relatively low just by not using any of these jades and just using silver to upgrade. And then whenever you do feel like getting a huge bump, just throw down all of your jades, which I'm saving all mine up right now, and then I'm gonna just get a huge bump later. Um, Other than that, I think that that is all the new information that I have to share with you today. And if I come up with anything else, or if you guys think of something that you would like me to talk about, if there's anything that I haven't discussed yet that you feel needs better explaining to you, or if you wanted help figuring out, oh, well, how can I make myself stronger in this way or that way, then definitely either send me a message or um, put a comment below the video, and I will try to make a video or just reply back to you with the information that you need. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is FF Minato signing out.